So, preparing yourself for an interview is one thing, right? So, we discussed in the previous video the importance of getting yourself prepared. But here's another one. So, after you've done your first interview, many of the companies, depending on the position that you're applying for, will most likely ask you to do an IQ test as well as a personality test. So that way they can evaluate your full potential depending on the position that you're applying for. There's a certain level of capacity, mental capacity that you need to be able to conduct your job or your career that you're going for. And the other one, the personality test, is important because they want to see how you are going to interact with other team members or even with the management group. Are you the person that is able to adapt? So be very careful. I would tell you, let's start with the IQ test. That one is important because I would tell you, if you haven't done an IQ test, go online and either use Google or whichever you want to use as a search engine, and then just basically type IQ test. Now, there's some that are free and others that you have to pay for. I would tell you, start with the free one at first, and then maybe finish with a more complex IQ test that you have to pay for. And they are very similar to the ones that most of the companies are using today. See, what happens is that you're probably rusty. If, like myself, I've done a few, and if you haven't done a bit of practicing on understanding, like shapes and forms and in practicing your mind, I would tell you this will help you when you actually do the IQ test somewhat. I mean, there's some logic questions that's going to be asked, and that's what you also have to practice for. So you kind of train your mind to already being able to execute and answer those questions. And be mindful that a lot of them will have a clock, and they'll send it to you by email so you can do it from your home. And you just got to prepare yourself, I got to tell you, because the timing is also very important. I want to see how much time it takes you, because they usually give you like average of anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour at the most. And as for the personality test, that's a tricky one. A lot of people, they want to answer what they think is what most of the employers want to hear. But if we catch you in a lie, because we can tell, they're going to be asking you a slightly different question that has some similarities, and you won't even know that that's because you're not being truthful of what you're actually answering. So it's very important. And when you do a personality test, be who you are. Otherwise, what's going to happen is when you do get hired and you filled in the wrong personality test, they're going to go, who is this person? So they want to know who you are, and it doesn't mean you're not going to get the position because you didn't quite answer what you think is what they want to hear. So I would tell you, be truthful always about who you are and how you're going to be interacting with other people, and this will help to coach and to mentor you in the right direction. So a little bit of that. So again, if you have any questions that you want to ask, please don't hesitate. Just send me an email. It'll be a pleasure to help you and try to guide you in the right direction. So it's a pleasure. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.